Adele, good morning.
Morning.
How you doing? Adele Roberts. Now, you two are comparing... Mike, you've got a certain unofficial world records, haven't you?
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything compared to Adele's.
Adele, you've got a proper one, haven't you? Do you want to explain what is your world record? This is an official world record.
Yeah, for running the London Marathon or a marathon, the fastest woman in the world to run a marathon with an ileostomy.
Right.
Yeah.
And the time... I mean, not the time really matters. It's a record. What was the time?
3 hours, 30 minutes and 22 seconds.
Which even in itself is an amazing time.
Yeah, I can't believe I've done it still. I'm like, did that actually happen?
Wowzers. So, you're going to have to explain. Ileostomy is... Which side is your stoma?
Yeah, so my stoma's on this side, the right side of my body, and it's a little opening on my body to help me go to the toilet. So at the moment, I don't go to the toilet the old-fashioned way. That's so 2021 for me.
So old.
So old-fashioned. Yeah, I just basically my body outputs into a little bag that's on the front of me.
Because you had bowel cancer.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's part of the recovery.
Absolutely.
How are you doing now?
Feeling much better, thank you.
Well, you've run a marathon in 3 hours 30, so that's kind of some indication, isn't it?
Yeah, and I use running to help me get better after bowel cancer, to give me something to focus on, look forward to, and it started from little steps in the hospital, and then it grew up into a marathon within 18 months.
You've written a book about your experiences. In a way, that picture that is looming large behind us now, that kind of is your story in a picture, isn't it? Because you have owned the condition that is now yours, of which you are... What phrase do you use? You're proud, you're just... It is you, it is now part of you.
Yeah, thank you, Charlie. I'm a proud ostomate. And one of the reasons is because I was ashamed I didn't know what a stoma was, really, before I got one. Not ashamed that I have one. And I didn't realise that there's so much stigma around stomas. So I thought, well, while I've got one, let's show it off. Let's show the world what a stoma can do.
When did you know that you were able to take that path? Because, you know, a lot of people, when they have a condition, as you say, they might want to hide away a bit. They might not want to share it. Was there a moment in time when you went, do you know what, I'm going to do it my way? Yeah,
I think the old me used to be really ashamed of my body. And when I had my operation for bowel cancer and I was lucky enough to wake up after it, I thought, I've got a second chance at life. And the first time I saw myself with my stoma, I thought, wow, like, look at this body's kept me alive. It's got through having cancer. And I've got a stoma, and for the first time I felt complete, and I felt like I could see my body for how amazing it was, this amazing machine that I've been given that kept me alive, and I felt really grateful. And I thought, I've been a little brat, you know, just be proud of yourself and start living your life.
It's all that wasted time kind of worrying, does this look OK? Does that look OK? And not appreciating just how miraculous this thing is, isn't it, in terms of the way it functions. How have you changed? You've written this book from rock bottom to the top of the world. How have you changed in terms of your attitude? OK, you appreciate your body, but you work hard. You have, you know, been on telly since, what, 2002?
Yeah.
With Big Brother. And stuff. You know, and obviously you've got a great career in radio as well. But how have your attitude, how have you changed?
Yeah, I think I used to be in a very dark place. I used to be very down on myself. And I think over the years I've learned to take care of myself, have self-care, and also just allow myself to sort of like a flower. I used to be like a bud that was closed, and I'm trying to like unfurl and take up space and be the change I needed to see when I was younger. And I think that's another reason why I'm so excited to have this book and have a stoma on the front, because I think representation is so important. And if you don't see yourself when you're younger on TV and in media, it makes you feel like there's something wrong with you.
How has your attitude to death changed? Because in the book, you talk about losing a very precious family member before you went into the Big Brother house, and your attitude towards that. And even though you've had a successful operation, I'm sure, you tell me, when you hear that you have cancer, a lot of people do straight away think death.
Absolutely,
don't they?
Yeah, I did. I thought I was going to die, and I thought that it was my fault. And they were my first two questions to the consultant. And I felt guilt as well, guilt that I'd have to tell my family members, you know, that I was ill.
And hurt them.
Yeah, and that was the worst thing, really, not hearing I had cancer, but having to tell my mum. That broke my heart. But then it also gave me the fight to think, just do what you can. I knew that a lot of it was out of my control, but what was in my control was staying strong spiritually and mentally, and that's what this book's about, so that hopefully no matter what people are facing, they'll say, I've been through a lot of things in my life, But my attitude, thanks to my mum and dad, is just keep trying your best and do it bit by bit, step by step, and you'll get there.
It's quite a brave thing in a way, isn't it? I mean, you've clearly been through a lot, not least the condition you've had, but your life generally. But it is quite a brave thing to kind of put down your own sort of manual, in a way, for recovery or how you get through life. That's quite brave in itself, isn't it? Because not everyone can do that or thinks they have much to offer.
Absolutely, and I didn't at first, but I remember when I was first diagnosed, I went into panic mode and I went onto Instagram and the internet, and I think I saw the good side of the internet. I saw lots of brave people talking about their lived experience with cancer, and I thought the least I can do if I get through this is do the same, and that's why we wanted to write the book.
And how does it affect you on a sort of day-to-day basis now?
Yeah, so still, my skin's still very sensitive. You'll see in the book how much the chemo damaged my skin. Also, I still have my stoma, so my body's not ready yet to have it reversed. So hopefully in the future it'll get reversed. But yeah, it's still like 2 years out now, still on the road to recovery. I'm still not 100%.
Have you stopped calling her Audrey?
Oh, yeah, I just wasn't sure if I was allowed to use her name just because...
It's her name!
Is that OK? Thank you.
Why would you not be allowed to use your own stoma's name on the sofa?
You best explain that. You gave your stoma a name.
Yeah, my stoma's called Audrey, and a lot of people think after Audrey Hepburn, but it's after the naughty plant. If you've seen the musical Charlie, Little Shop of Horrors, and there's a naughty, greedy plant, that's Audrey. Yeah, she's in here. She's greedy.
And do you have a dialogue? Do you... How does it work?
When she misbehaves.
Yeah. I do speak to her a lot. I had to have a word with her last night because she was excited about coming on the show. She got a bit naughty, got out of her bag. So, yeah, we had words last night, yeah.
Is that like I mean, it's charming, OK? It is charming. Is it also a coping mechanism? It's a coping mechanism, is it?
Yeah, it is. When I first got my stoma, the nurses said a good thing to do is to name it. And so now, if I have an accident, it's not me that did it, it's Audrey. Yeah, it's not me, it's my naughty Audrey.
We're not... And no offence to any Audreys watching
Yeah,
right
totally.
now. Let's be clear about that.
Loads of people name their stomas, don't they? It is a way of just owning it, isn't it? Absolutely. Yeah. What next? How's Kate? You and I have spoken before about your relationship with Kate, your partner, and how supportive she's been, and how you kind of it was almost shocking in itself. Did I read what marriage is on the cards? Well, you can't come on here and not tell us, because that's a brilliant love story in itself.
It is. I'll just explain to Charlie, me and Kate have been together for 20 years, and when we first got together, I asked her to marry me, but we couldn't legally get married at the time, and now they've changed the law, Charlie, so now I'm going to have to pay for a wedding.
Date?
So?
Date?
So?
Yeah. Hopefully, in the future, maybe.
Come on!
Maybe Audrey would like to tell us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Does Audrey want to tell me?
Audrey says yes.
There's a date. But you don't have to tell us, but there's a date.
There's not been a date set yet, but we hope to in the future, yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And congratulations on your world record.
Thank you very much.
Incredible.
Yes, brilliant.
Quite incredible.
Not as good as Mike's, the space hopper, but...
Yeah,
well, it was an
inflatable ball, wasn't it, over the water or something like that?
It was one of those running inflatable ball things, but also a space hopper. I think he did one on a space hopper.
Of course he did. Of course he did. You can aim for that next time. Yeah. Adele's book, Personal Best from Rock Bottom to Top of the World, is out now.